Hey everyone, good evening and welcome to Wednesdays for Women. And in Wednesdays for Women, in association with freebirds.co, we get you women who are making exceptional stories in their life. And they are creating these stories every moment, every second of their lives. They have not stopped at anything, nothing has been able to hold them back. They are like a storm which is raging in full form. And today I have for you one of my best friends, and she and I studied in school together. She's here, and I'm so happy today. I'm really, really happy. Please welcome my dear friend Pallavi Datta, but she's now Pallavi Katoch. Here she is. Pallavi, warm welcome to you.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Hi Tina. It's so lovely meeting you. Uh, uh, I think it's been years. Of course, I have been in
Yeah.
touch with you, but it's a wonderful platform, and thank you for inviting me. And
Any
really, it's lovely to see you. And hi everybody. Lovely to see all of you.
So nice. I mean, you've always been so nice. I remember, Pallavi, if you remember, I used to call you Palazzo, okay? And I
Yes.
used to call you all kinds of names. And being the best of friends, I used to call you all kinds of names. And we used to call me Tinzo. I used to call you Palazzo. We used to have this Italian, the fetish for Italian things. I don't know why we
ever
came up
since ever since
with
and I think
everything.
that won't stop. In
That
fact,
won't
we
stop.
had a gang, and the Z and the ending, the suffix to everybody's name was the Z stuff. That'll never end, and I guess that creates us as some special specimens, I would say. But yes, I guess these things are the ones which we will never change, and these are the traits which will carry us, through the journey of life. There's so
Yeah.
much happening, but these are the small things which makes it so special, isn't it?
Wow. I still remember you used to talk in the same fashion when you were like, when we were walking to school together, when we used to, hold on to each other's shoulders and we used to walk to school together, come back from school together. You still have the same style. I was a nat person. I still am, and I'm still that that intolerable person that my husband says that you need to change. You've grown old now. I said no, I'm still 16. So you and I will always be 16 till we die. We'll be
True.
like Brian Adams says,
True.
18 till he dies, but we'll be 16 till we die.
Yes.
So we'll never change. And I'm sure you being a Shillong girl and I being a Shillong girl, we remember those beautiful days that we had in Shillong. And do you often go back to Shillong once in a while to see your? I mean, our mom is there, I believe.
Yeah. So Shillong and me, I mean, we cannot be separated. Yes, my mother is still there, and my roots are still there. So yes, I'm a full-fledged Shillong bred girl, I would say, a hill girl. But the best thing is I'm married to a person who's again from the hills. In fact, at present, I am in Dharamshala. So I guess that essence of hills, nature, everything came along with me, and by the grace of God, I'm back to where I started. So yes, I guess it's always been the hills, nature, that made me who I am, and the values that I imbibed from Shillong, from my family, from my extended family. That would be school, the lovely friends like you and everybody around, and the teachers, Loreto. So everything has actually contributed to who I am today. And I guess that'll never change. That'll really never change. I would like to, kind of translate that into something more which I can do for the people. Maybe, yes, a bit in Northeast. I don't know if I would have access that much, but yes, I certainly am looking at doing something for the women, especially, and the destitute girl children of Himachal Pradesh. So that's what I'm looking at, and probably that what I got from Shillong, that is something I am going to kind of contribute and translate it into some worthy, valuable stuff uh, in Himachal. So I guess Shillong will never die. It will be there with me for lives and lives to come, I guess.
True.
So,
You're so correct.
yeah.
And then I still remember you were that graceful girl who's turned into a graceful
Oh,
lady. You still
thank
talk
you.
the same way. I'm just admiring the way you are telling your stories, and you're so lucky, in fact, to be staying in Dharamshala in Himachal, where you are carrying a huge part of Shillong into that into the hills again. And since you're a hill girl, I wish I was there in the hills too. Sometimes I always wonder, but I'm Guwahati. I have to make do with that. Yeah, you have Pallavi, you've got a huge profile. I will read out a bit of it, and then we will again go back to some questions. You have been a professional coach and trainer, and you work on behavioral issues, and you run your own company. So it's called Perform. Is that
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah, Perform. And I love this part about your profile. You have over 23 years of experience in the field of education. That makes you somebody who's so experienced in the field of education, training, and empowerment. So rightly, you said something very wonderful that you would like to do something for the women of Himachal and the Northeast. I would gladly welcome you. I hope we can be of some help when you are trying to help out women. And you use these analytical skills to reach the core issue and address them to help individuals and groups overcome their obstacles. And you are also an NLP trainer, and you practice NLP to demonstrate how language can be used to change behavior. My God, I can go on reading, for all the people who are listening. She's got a huge profile, but I'm going to cut this short, and we're going to start from, okay, after your education was done, and then you moved on, you went off to Delhi, I believe, and you settled there. And then how did you start off with this training? Because I'm very interested because I have heard wonderful things about you as a trainer. Now, if
Oh,
you're going to ask
okay.
me, who did you hear this from? I heard it
You've got to
from.
spill the beans.
Can I say this? No, I won't say it. I won't say it. But then, should I? Should I?
Please do, please do. I'd love to
Yeah,
hear
okay.
about me at times.
These are people from the Netfee house,
Oh,
from
okay.
Netfee, and I believe you had done a wonderful training with them. And they told me, I've got my cousin there, I've got my friends there. In fact, our classmate Lisa is there, and they actually gave me a very good feedback, or most of them, not just my cousin, but there were others also. Who said we had a fantastic time with your friend. She is so controlled, and she has such beautiful command over what she's teaching. We had I think it was around 3-4 days that you had trained them, and they had a
Yes.
fantastic time. So you have to tell us something about your training, more about who you train, how you train. You don't have to tell us your secrets, but then you can tell us.
No, I'll be telling you the trick of the trade, of course.
Oh,
It's
I'm
just
going to
that
copy all
you just
that.
have to be yourself. But Tina, let me begin with how it all started, the training and coaching journey. So
Okay.
I'll correct you over here. It was soon after marriage. I married an army officer. Of course, Yogesh is an ex-army officer. He hung his boots in 2009 after the Kargil war. However, I've been traveling a lot with him, and this was the year 1993. Uh, Thereon, because of my penchant for psychology, for behavior, and I always wanted to understand why people behave the way they behave. But yes, at that point in time, I would say I was very raw. I would just observe. And one thing I knew, I was not too academic in nature, but I would experiment. I would go. I didn't have a formal counseling, tag with me at that point in time in 90s I'm talking about. However, Army gave me that exposure because I would interact with the wives of the soldiers, and the innumerous struggles that they had, the problems, the issues that they faced, apart from the life that they were leading, a very wonderful life, because Army gives you a very secured life. It's an institution in itself, and very protected life. But then they had their own obstacles. That's where when I interacted, they would approach me with their problems, and that kind of began, it dawned on me that why not do something for people who really need it. So in 2004, because till then I was working in a school, young learners never, kind of appealed me. I didn't like the traditional approach of, rote learning, or, because the traditional approach in schools back then, now things of course have changed. It was more about, rote learning, memorizing, then testing and exams. But I wanted to do something more, and I was more inclined towards adult learners. So it all happened in 2004, I would say, yes. When I got this opportunity, I cleared the entrance for a program called CELTA, which is, training for adult. And this is run by the British Council. So, you get the certification from Cambridge University. So that was the beginning of me dealing with adult learners. And from there on, it was no looking back. From there on, I moved on. I got this wonderful platform in the Hero group. It was Hero Mind back then, wherein I was appointed as a trainer who would deal with English language. So yes, I was labeled as an English trainer, and there would be people telling me that, oh, ye Angrezi padhayegi, sort of things. But fair enough, as long as I was dealing with, trainees, learners who were keen learners to learn the language. But then on, I realized it was not only about language. There were so many issues that encompassed in communication, that encompassed in the way people behave, dealt with others, built relationships, being a professional. So there was so much to it. In Hero Mind, I started observing. So I was doing my role. I was, kind of carrying out my responsibilities in the capacity of a trainer, largely a language trainer. But then I started observing, and then I realized that no, there is more that I want to do. I wanted to help the professionals to be better professionals, I would say, to execute efficiently. And that's when I realized that no, I need to scale up. And it was a struggle because the label was there, the tag was there. Second thing, Tina, to coming from Shillong and Northeast, I had a handicap, that was the language, Hindi language. So yes, there were times when some people would mock at the way I would speak Hindi. It hurt at that time, but then I always, I wouldn't be vocal about it. I wouldn't, kind of retaliate. But I would always come back and say that, okay, why did that person, ridicule me? Or why did he, pass such a statement or a comment that Pallavi won't be able to handle uh, professionals who are not very, or who don't have a good command over language, that is English. And so she won't be able to train in Hindi. That's when I took up the challenge and I said, no, let me prove it. So first I had to prove it to myself. Did I believe in myself? Did I believe that it's not only about the language, it's about everything. It's about how you deal with people, how you help them to deal with so many issues in their professional life, in their personal life. And then I got this opportunity. I must say that yes, my bosses then, they were very, very accommodating. They gave me the opportunities, and I started from language. I moved on to enterprise training, that is, corporate trainings. I got the opportunity, as I said, and it was no looking back from then, because I worked in Hero for almost 6 to 7 years. And there I learned a lot from those amazing colleagues who are still my friends and, my support system, I would say. Uh, Amazing people I met. I learned a lot from the trainees, the learners. I learned a lot from the issues that they faced, because I started taking on programs like problem solving, team bonding, and, they as a trainer, if there are any trainers or coaches who are watching me now, they would say, oh, these are cliche programs. No, they're not, because there's more into it. It's just not about showing a PPT or, just running some activities. No. I started connecting with each individual who would be a participant in my programs, and thereon I would understand from their perspective, what is it that they really require. Why is it that they're facing a problem? Maybe in setting a goal, maybe in bonding with some people, maybe difficulty in communicating with their bosses, and so on and so forth. That's when I realized that no, I am there to help people to make a difference. Yes, it was a struggle, Tina, because Hero, of course, it was an organization. I was, a full-time employee with them. But when I moved out from Hero to look at better pastures, I would say, I wouldn't say greener, because Hero was a fantastic platform and a fantastic organization. However, I wanted to know more. So when I, scaled up, I moved on from Hero, moved on to become a freelancer. Uh, that's a time when I realized that no, I can do more. And as I said, there were struggles because some people wouldn't buy in to what I wanted to give. Some people would say, I wouldn't like to mention names over here, but some people would say that no, आप क्या पढ़ाओगे? या फिर, they would say that, Pallavi ji, we have a set template. We want you to go it accordingly. I would say no. That's the time when I realized that no, I can't conform to everything that a person wants. Uh, I wanted to do exactly what the need is. So my approach was to understand what each individual required. So there were some fantastic people, clients, I would say, who understood what I would give, what value I would add, and then we would have discussions. I would insist on face-to-face meetings. I would insist, I would, dig deep into what the issues were, because I said that I'll help you to bridge the gaps, and that's where, when I say that, I deal with the core issues of a person. Every program, I realize that yes, every individual has core issues, which manifests into their behavior, why they behave the way they behave. So yes, I started out that way, and of course the rest is, as you see. I also certified myself as an NLP coach, an executive coach from very good agencies, I would say. uh, I did my NLP from Anchor NLP, from Colonel Sudeep Mukherjee, again a genius. So as I said, I've met some fantastic people. Sudeep Mukherjee was a person who still mentors me. I still run to him for any issues which I face or any questions that I keep bugging him. So one is he. Second is Inderjeet Singh, again a person who's influenced me, and he's helped me in understanding what executive coaching is. Also that led to me to be a life coach. I deal with a lot of people who have major issues, personal problems, their marriage problems, students who have career issues. So you know it was one after the other, and each client, each group, each person has taught me rather than me teaching them. And I think that's helped me grow and understand that yes, there's so much I can do. And it's not only about the certifications, but it's more about using that. It's not only about reading and getting knowledge. It's about using that knowledge to your advantage and to somebody else's advantage, so that it helps them to transform. Those little shifts help them to transform, and change. At the end of the day, Tina, of course, the responsibility lies in the learner. Are they ready to take charge? I can only be an instrument, and I think that's the beauty. As a coach, as a trainer, I'm just an instrument. The rest, they are doing it. If they're listening, I hope so. they are doing it. And there are many who come to me, they approach me, ma'am, Pallavi, I'm stuck here, I'm stuck there. And it's not only in corporates, even in PSUs. I've had wonderful, uh, experiences in PSUs like IOCL, BPCL, uh, you know, many other, RBI. These are lovely government institutes wherein I've learned a lot because, again, the working culture in government organizations, public sector undertakings, and corporates are quite different. So, again, you have to adjust, and I get into the details. So, that has helped me, Tina, to grow. So, it's not been a very smooth ride, it's been ups and downs, but I guess from every down, I've always said that no, I will get back up. And that has helped me. Yes, I'm not too expressive. I don't go out and tell X, Y, Z. I am very choosy and picky as to who I would consult. As I said, I mentioned Inderjeet. I mentioned Colonel Sudeep Mukherjee. There are two or three, and of course, most importantly, Yogesh, my husband. He has been a phenomenal support for me because he's in a position wherein the many issues which he deals with. He's in a private sector company, and he's leading one of the verticals. So the many things inputs I take from him. So my learning is, as I said, based on observations, on hands-on experiences, rather than very theoretical. I don't go very theoretical, and I think that is something which makes the programs effective. I would like to believe that. I think that's how it is, and that's how NetFee also. When I did programs for them in 2 consecutive years, and so the same 4 days. It was understanding each one's issues and helping them, because at the end of the day, they have to help themselves. But as I said, I was the instrument. So this has been my training and coaching journey. Yes, I got 2 very good opportunities. I was invited. I had written a research paper. Uh, I had co-authored with Archana Srivastav, Dr. Archana Srivastav. She is the head of communications in BIMTech University, and I was an empaneled, faculty of BIMTech. We both decided to write a paper on emotional quotient of students, their transition from career to, campus to corporate. This paper was accepted by Oxford University, and in 2017, I went and presented my paper, and yes, we won the best presenters over there and the best paper in our category. So that was again a turning point for us. I met some amazing people over there. So that was one. Then my exposure, because I've traveled and I've trained abroad. I've trained in the US. I've trained in parts of Mauritius. I've trained in Bangladesh. So the various cultures, the various problems that they have, that has again given me a lot of exposure, a lot of learning, and therefore my growth in terms of being more into a behavioral analyst, I would say, in terms of training and coaching. That is something I owe it to my participants. I owe it to my trainees. I don't owe it to me. I would say it's about them. And actually, Tina, coaching, training is all about the people who are there, ready to receive, and I gladly like to give. That's how it is.
Wonderful, wonderful. I could just keep on listening to you. You chronicle it so well. It's in such a beautiful story. I could just go on listening to you. Such a beautiful way you've done it. I remember I saw a couple of pictures where you were training these people from. I think it was from a different country. I don't exactly remember where it was, but then it was. I think it was on social media, somewhere in social media that you had given in Facebook probably, where you were training some of these people and they were having a great time. It was a kind of video, or I forgot. It was a couple of years
Maybe I do post, yes. And that's the beauty, these trainings. As I said, it's not very academic. It's about them, and I love to engage them. They come up with a lot of issues, and I help them resolve those issues there and then, because at the end of the day, when they go out, they have to be equipped, and that's what empowerment is all about. So I've had these amazing experiences, and yes, I keep posting.
Yeah.
Not too great in social media, but yes, as and when sometimes my participants would say, "Ma'am, please post it on Facebook or LinkedIn, and we'll tag you." So that's the reason I post. Also, another thing, I was never very assertive. As I said, I probably there's now I know after doing NLP, there's nothing called as extrovert or introvert. It depends on the situation and the surroundings that you have and the environment that you are in. However, Tina, I learned to be assertive when I joined this company called Vibrant. I was the general manager for training, and that's when I would argue a lot with my boss, Colonel Shiv Jamwal. And he's the one who was instrumental in helping me to be more assertive, speak my mind out, and reach out the way I want to. So I guess Vibrant has also taught me a lot. So as I said, throughout this journey, so far, because I'm still learning, there's lots more to learn in this field that I am in. But I've met some amazing people, and I really owe it to them. I really owe it to them.
So yeah, you have been training, yes, but what is Perform all about? What is performing? You've
So
also got
I started Perform in 2016, and this was after I did my master practitioner NLP neuro linguistic programming with Colonel Sudeep Mukherjee. That's when it struck me that no, now is the time when I need to be on my own, do things which I'm happy about, and there are no bindings. Because obviously, if you are with an organization or any firm, you are committed to what the firm's policies are and what they want. But NLP made me realize that I have it in me to start something on my own, and that's how Perform was born. And it started with being. I mean, it's still a training company, and I do the same work, but yes, I have the leeway, I have the freedom to do work at my own free will, do work which I am interested in, deal with clients who I know I can, I share the same wavelength. That's very important. And also do work that actually helps people to make a difference in their lives, in their professional surroundings. And that's how Perform was born. Today it's a 3.5 year old firm, I would say, a training firm. And I've had some lovely consultants who work for me pan India. We've done some amazing projects, again, all to do with training. And yes, it is growing in leaps and bounds. And soon I hope to have more, reach to the to the people out there who need my services, who need Perform services, with these amazing consultants who I work with, as and when projects come by. So yes, Perform is a training and coaching consultant firm, and I hope there's more I can add to the profile of Perform. It's still growing, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I enjoy my baby, and I love doing work via my baby. That's Perform. And
lovely. So I just
yes,
wanted to ask you, Pallavi, here, if anybody wants to contact you, like say for
yes.
Perform, like virtually, they want to take some training from you, or on a professional level, they and nothing comes free. So if they want to contact you, so like how do I help you? Like, because I want to help you out by, maybe getting clients from here or something like that. So how does one do that? How does one contact you?
So there
Is
are
this
two things, Tina.
yes?
How it works is people, connect with me because I have my own website, and also being in this field for almost now it's 17 years just in training and coaching. So there are people who are known to me. So as and when I do programs, what happens is it is through the HR, that is the human resource department. And
Okay.
more often than not, Tina, it is word of mouth. They know that, okay, Pallavi has done. So for example, you gave the example of NetFee. So somebody from NetFee may have, told XYZ, then they approach me. One is that. Second is through LinkedIn. I get a lot of clients through LinkedIn, a few from Facebook as well, but LinkedIn being more of on a professional, being a professional platform. I get a lot of clients from LinkedIn. First, they look at my profile and the posts. I seldom write articles. However, there are posts over there. Looking at the posts, they come to me, they connect with me, and then they spell out their requirement, and then I take it on from there. So if I have to do anything from Northeast, the advantage nowadays is that yes, everything is happening on the online platform. So it's just that I'm a call away. So,
Okay.
even if you share my number and tell them that, okay, she's Pallavi Katoch, and, you could approach her for any training related issues or needs, any coaching, individual coaching, or any, even these B schools or institutes, uh, they have a need, the transition from campus to corporate. They have a lot of fear, they have a lot of issues in how to face interviews. I, along with my consultants, we give these services. So this is where how I can help, and you can just reach out to me. As I said, I'm a call away, and everything can be done on the online platform. Yes, when things are better, when COVID is out of our system, hope so, then I would be there whenever
Wow. So
they
that's
want
good.
me.
So I now know that if anybody's interested, I'll just give them your number and they can reach out to you.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's fantastic. And I can see that you've been doing a lot of virtual, coachings. I can see that, you've been doing a lot of that. And thank God for that, because people are in this situation. I'm sure they need a lot of counseling. They need a lot of, pat on the back. And because my students call me up sometimes and they say that, Mom, ma'am, this is finished. This, whatever this happened, this is I mean, whatever is happening right now, we
It's
are,
over.
it's over. My life is finished. My career is finished. I don't know what's going to happen. So that's when I have a one-to-one talk with them over the phone. So I think it's similar if they want any kind of counseling. So I'm going to definitely give your number
Absolutely.
and
I
your
would
connect.
be more than happy to help.
Yeah, so you have been recently into a lot of different things, Pallavi. Apart from all
I
this,
knew
that
that was coming, yes.
yeah, this is really really nice. And apart from being a nature lover, I love your pictures where you're going jogging with your sons, and you're having this, you're doing up your house so beautifully. All different kinds of things. Your hobbies are so varied. You love nature and the greens and everything, and living in such a beautiful place. Obviously, you will be in love with nature anyway. You see nature every day. Like
Absolutely.
where we see buildings and we see a lot of other things besides the trees, of course, a couple of trees. We're very sad about that. And today, one of my friends, he called up and he's deeply into meditation. So he was saying, you know what, I think, and he was very serious about it. He said, you know what, I think everybody should start planting trees and fruit trees. And so that these trees are available for all the poor, and these trees are only for the poor. I said, yeah, that's a very idealistic situation
Situation.
because the rich ones are going to get those, pluck those fruits from the trees. The poor ones are not going to get it
Absolutely.
ever.
No, they won't. Yeah.
So, Pallavi, I have been seeing a lot of your pictures, and these are mouth-watering pictures. These are absolutely out of the world because I have not had a single pastry. I've not had a single piece of cake. I have not had anything meetha. And then you put up pictures like that, sinfully Simply beautiful pictures, and you make my mouth water and everybody else's, of course. And you've been into baking, and you've been into so much of excessive and excellent cooking. So you have to tell us about this. How did this happen? I know you were, as a young girl, you used to do a lot of. I remember I used to go to your place and you used to cook for us, but that is different, and this is amazing. This is gorgeous.
Uh, yeah, at times I'm surprised at this. I would say it's a newfound hobby. I always had loved, I was rather very passionate about cooking and baking. I guess it comes not much from my mother, who hates cooking. She would kill me if she hears this. But it's more from my grandmother, who was an excellent cook and baker. And you would remember they were part of this. Stonyland Club, and they
Yes.
would make those goodies. They would have those fates. So again, going back to see, the nature is my nature is the same trait of observing and then experimenting. So as I said, it happened with training. The same with baking. But lockdown was the time when I said, Tina, what happened? When the lockdown began, just before the lockdown, I had signed on some amazing projects, which were, some were 1 year contracts, some were about 2 years contracts, to do certain things with startups and entrepreneurs. I, being an entrepreneur, they wanted my, strategies. And so there were many projects I signed up with. However, everything became a damp squib, and it was stalled because of the lockdown and because of COVID. That's a time. Also, another thing happened is there were many trainers who were in doldrums. They had, they had just no means of earning, and they didn't know what to do. They were single ladies, or even men for that matter, who were the sole bread earners. So a lot of depression, a lot of stress was there amongst these trainers, who would, on a regular basis, talk to me. I reached out to them. I helped a few financially, whatever little I could do, because, you know, I thought I can do. One thing I realized, that no, I won't let this lockdown get to me. And I won't, because somewhere at the back of my mind, it came to me that yes, there is stress setting in. Seeing my fellow trainers, seeing what was happening to everybody, be it the laborers, the daily wagers, or be it any corporate or any other professional, everybody's life was jeopardized. So stress was setting in, but I said no, I must not, because if I get into stress and allow it to happen, it won't solve the purpose. It won't change things. So that's when I decided, let me do something apart from the training. There were a few projects which were still on, but again, with this new platform, with new way of training, that is only 2 hours a day. Otherwise my trainings were 8 hours a day. So I had a lot of time. And the second thing is, my boys were in Dharamshala. I and Yogesh were in Delhi. So I had a lot of time. I did, devote time to reading, a lot of research. But then I said, well, let me do something more. That's when I said, let me get into baking. My boys are foodies. Yogesh loves eating. So I said, okay, he can be a guinea pig. So two things happened. He said, I will be a good guinea pig. I will taste what you bake, provided you promise to, run with me every day. So I used to run, and I used to run 10 kilometers, but we both were aiming for the marathon. And so he says, let's, so, it was a kind of a barter, wherein he said that he'll, taste my goodies, and I said that, okay, I will run with you early in the morning. So that's how it all happened. I started with baking, and there was just no stopping me. I realized that no, I wanted more out of baking. So it was not the regular cakes. Definitely, I didn't want to do, because I'm not a cake artist. I didn't want to just, kind of confine myself or limit myself to just baking cake. what I said is, because I love European dishes, the cuisines. I love the breads of Europe. So I said, let me try these rugged, rustic breads. And that's
Ooh.
how it all happened, Tina.
I
Yes,
think we've got
trial
some
and error method.
we've got some pictures. You sent us some pictures. If Jyoti, if you can show us some of those pictures that of those yummy goodies that she had made, and these are some. Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
these were the rolls. Oh, they were amazing. This was after my third try. And these were bread rolls in the form of croissants, and they were amazing. As I said, they came out excellent and perfect, near perfect after my third try. I went into the technicalities, and there was a lot of wastage. It's a secret,
you're
but
you're a
yeah.
perfectionist. I can see that.
This is one of the
Oh,
recent
oh,
cakes. It was somebody's birthday, and requested me to Pallavi virtual treat. So I said, okay, kya banao, kya banao. I baked at night at around 11:30, Tina, and
you. Oh
this was the
God, you have
result.
strength. You have
This was a lemon cake with chocolate drizzle.
Ooh.
So
Oh, I'm really hungry now. No, that's just a picture
that's
of you.
me.
Yeah, that's
These are
you
some
training.
of my this is the first virtual training I did in the month of April with an NGO, and yes, it was almost for 9 days consecutively. So it was
Okay.
amazing an experience.
I think we have some more foodie pictures. Food pictures. We need some
This is
food
from one
pictures.
of my recent trainings.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are some
We have
baking.
some more food pictures. Yes. Oh yes.
This
This
is
looks good.
this is an award-winning. I must mention this. This is an award-winning dish. It's an amalgamation of leftovers, I would say. The only
Okay.
thing I made was that caramel ice cream.
All
Otherwise,
right.
the crumble is a walnut cake which I crushed, and I put some more walnuts. I crushed it, and this was the outcome. And I won a prize for this because I'm a part of Home Yums. You're aware of that,
I want
and
you to parcel me all this food. Seriously.
I I hope so. I hope one day I can do, because that's my dream, Tina,
Oh
to open my own patisserie.
yeah.
I would have loved to have it in Shillong, but yes, nevertheless, I have this opportunity in Dharamshala. So hopefully someday soon.
You please have it in Dharamshala, and I'm going to send all my friends there, and all the people who
Absolutely.
visit, I'm going to say, please visit her patisserie, and so that they get to eat this lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this was one of the almond honey bread. So this is fantastic. This was
You
on the
also give virtual classes on baking.
yeah.
So I
There's a lot of requests, but till the time I'm not, I would say perfect, because nobody's perfect, but till the time I'm not confident, I wouldn't like to take up. There are a lot of calls every day. Pallavi, please take classes. I said, okay,
you should, because
let me
at least
try.
for a novice like me who doesn't know what is perfection, I think this is great for me.
But
This is perfect.
there have to be some people who just eat. That's it. So you are one of them, and I'd gladly make for you so that you can eat and relish every bakes of mine.
Okay.
I'll reserve you
Wow.
for that. This
All
was the
this is
baguette, and the baguette. This was amazing again, and of course the flour was by Vansh, who said, "No, mom, let me put a flour over there because it's one of the best bake of yours." And yes, this was an amazing baguette, a French baguette, I would say.
no, but to tell you the truth, I had also baked bread before I got married. But after marriage, we know everything's gone out of the window.
No, this I credited to lockdown because of the time I have in hand. Yes, so these are again some of the herbal breads that I made. This was another very mouth-watering, roll that I baked very recently. This is a peanut butter roll,
Uh,
and it's a peanut butter roll cookie. And as I
that's you
said,
running.
I
No, that's you.
promised Yogesh, and this is in Dharamshala after a
No,
run. So
wait. I have to tell you something very important. Can we have the previous picture again, Jyoti? If we can have no the running picture. The picture where yes, this one. Now, I have to tell the viewers one thing that, I have been a very roly-poly person ever since I was a kid. And Pallavi and I would plan to run in the morning. Now, it's because it's Yogesh, that's why she's running in Dharamshala. But I remember when it was in Shillong, and I used to go and stand in front of her house, and she would never come up because she used to say, "No, I don't need to run, Tina, because I'm perfectly okay." And I would like fume and get angry with her for missing
I
out.
remember Tina, we were also called Laurel and Hardy. I still
Yes,
remember. I was Laurel, you were Hardy.
yes,
These comments made by some St. Edmunds guys, I still remember.
yes.
Yes.
And you should remember that you ditched me, when we were running, we were planning to run. So yeah, this looks good. That other cake,
Yeah,
this is
this
very
is
nice.
again very delectable. Only thing is, I seldom eat what I bake, Tina. Just a bite I would take just to see the taste. Otherwise, I seldom eat what I bake. Maybe because of the fact that, yes, all the bakes are laden with sugar, laden with carbs.
Yes,
I am a health conscious, and I guess one needs to be. But yes, I do binge at times when I know that I can't resist some of the bakes.
the cheat days, the cheat days. Yes.
Yeah.
so so
This
really,
is again
yeah, this is again, I think, one of
in
your.
Dharamshala. Again, as I said, every weekend, being a nature lover, all of us, we, even though it's COVID, but then, Dharamshala is not as badly affected. So early morning we set out, and be it rains, be it sunny, we're not bothered about the weather. So we go out, and this is one of those, where we climb the hill, and I just said, I need some rest. So this was captured.
Wow. I must say you're so lucky because we are terrace runners now, we run on the terrace because we have no other option but to run on the terrace.
Yeah,
So
I
the
would
terrace is
say.
just a few feet apart, so we just run from one end to the other end and one end to the
No,
other end.
the saying goes that when life gives you lemon,
So
so
we have
instead,
this. Yes.
absolutely, you make your
So that
own
was
lemonade.
fun, yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
And I still remember the ditching part because I remember I used to stand at the bottom of your window. You used to have your room on the top floor, and I used to throw small little, those were not
yes,
pebbles or
but
anything.
not
I think
pebbles, but
these were like dried leaves or something like that. I think dried flowers, and I used to
yes.
throw them at you. I used to say, Pallavi, Pallavi, wake up, and you used to just sleep. Even if you heard me, you used to say, no, 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 I better not wake up. Let this fatso go and let her do her running.
So
See?
I would say let this fatso go, but I would say that no, I am not going. Let her do it. I don't need it. But yes, I wish those days would come back
Yes,
because
yes. Those days are so lovely. We used to walk to school. We used to do so many kinds of things, right? And remember having those the burger, the hot dogs in that Nazareth Hospital. Remember, we used to have the
yes,
small little cafe out there, and we used to go and have our
absolutely.
cold drinks and stuff like that. That was such a lovely time we had. Shillong was the best place we grew up, and that is why we are such wonderful human beings. I think that we can
No doubt
we're
about
still
that.
the babies. We are still the little
I'm
babies
a
that we are.
proud Shillongite, I must say, and Shillong just is with me, so it just
Yes,
doesn't
totally.
die.
I carry it wherever I
I
go.
carry it. Same here. I carry it.
And then, I sometimes cannot adjust to a lot of people here. But then, when you're in Rome, you have to be, like my husband says, when you're in Rome, you don't have to be a Roman, but you have to be a Romanian. So, so when you're in Rome, be a
I
Romanian.
remember that you'll have to be a
Yeah.
Romanian.
Yeah. So when you're in Rome, you have to be a Romanian. So that's it. Pallavi, it's been wonderful, wonderful talking to you. But
Likewise.
you are an influencer. You are a coach. You are a life coach. All your profile. I'm so proud that we meet after so many years virtually though. But then you make me so proud that my bestie has gone miles and miles across. She's created such beautiful stories, and I am here to actually talk about it. It makes my heart fill with pride. It really makes my heart fill with pride.
I
And
am
see,
honored, Tina. I'm really honored because to be talking to you, you're again such a dynamic personality, and that's what our school group. We always say she's a celebrity in her own, you know, ways, and such a dynamic girl you are. I just pray that you remain this way. As for me, I would just say that yes, I'm trying. It's just an endeavor. I'm learning. I fall, I get back up. But the only thing I would like to tell everybody, be it the younger ones, whoever's listening to me, be it trainers, or that nothing should deter you. If you have it in you, just do it. I mean, if it's a goal, if it's something that you want to do, reach out to, if there's something which you visualize, just take the plunge, because only when you take the plunge you will realize that yes, these are things I will. Unless you do it, how will you know? So, don't be living in that illusion world. Rather, be there, just go out, do it. That's what my mantra has been. Just do it. And Tina, it's
Wow.
been lovely, it's wonderful. Thank you for
No,
inviting me to
thank you
be
for
your
coming to my
guest.
show.
And
Seriously, I'm so happy.
honestly, I would have loved to hug you, but I guess namaste is the
Let's have virtually. Let's
absolutely a virtual hug.
virtual
And
hug.
thank you for inviting me. Thank you, friends, for listening to me. And it's been wonderful. God bless you. God grace you with abundance, Tina.
My goodness, that's so beautiful, Pallavi. Thank you so much. And I feel totally blessed that you're here with me today
So,
because my choti friend, my friend from nursery classes here with me.
absolutely.
So happy. Seriously, thank you,
Thank
Pallavi, for
you. Thank
giving
you.
us your time, for sharing your stories, for encouraging us and inspiring us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I look forward. Thank you. Thank you,
Me
Nick.
too. Me too.
Bye bye.
Bye. See
Bye.
you.
See
Bye
you.
bye.